So what we're going to do is like actually we have an arrangement and it's all about different flowers. There's lots of different flowers in it, but you have to know the relationship between each flower because it's all about the relationship. It's all about the combination, how you combine flowers. So you have different textures, you have different sizes, you have flowers leaning over, you have static flowers. So what we do, actually, we make a composition. It's just like playing music, playing song. Well, it's up to you to decide where you're going to place the flowers. This rose is huge. It's a beautiful rose. So we're going to give it like a main, like a beautiful place that the flower is like shining. Every flower should shine. If you make arrangement and you just squeeze them in that you don't see them anymore, you lose the personality of a flower. So as you can see, that beautiful anemone, that beautiful fritillaria is coming really, it's like growing out of the arrangement. So in here, if we see that it's a tulip, but it's not like a normal tulip. We call it a baroque tulip, and see the texture, see the wires, see the color of the wires. So what we do is actually always create a concept. Although it's very small, normally I do like big weddings, but in here actually it's the same. What a wedding is, you have different locations. Here we're going to centralize, we're going to work into the circle. So in here we're going to add this little tulip here, and it gives us a little bit of playful idea. All lines are very, like how we can say, the lines of the branch is very dynamic, so we're going to add some static lines in, and you can see I break and I make it more playful. And the art is like, you have to know the rules. If you don't know the rules of elements and principles of as a designer, you can't break them. So what we're going to do, we're going to extend, or we're going to leave the circle by adding these grasses in it. We just call it like a steel grass. We have tons of different grasses. Each grass has a kind of potential, or each grass has a kind of strength. So we have like weak grasses, we have strict grasses, we have static grasses. So as a chef in the kitchen, you should know what is your botanicals. You should know your medium. The better you know your medium, the better you can communicate. Because actually what we are, as a florist, we are communicators. What we do, we have expectations from the clients, and that is something what we have to communicate. That the client says, okay, this is exactly what I want, but of course it's all about ask your client is what is important, what is the message, what do you want to say, but that's up to us to bring this over to the final result. For instance, I took that tulip, that's a whole different tulip. If you just really, color-wise of course it's different, but if you see the texture, it's almost a velvet. It's one of the single tulips that the texture is velvet. And if I add that one in here, what do? We do a kind of rapport. We have that beautiful, like soft, like yarn. Well, it's like a repetition. So everything, like I said, everything should be mixed. It should be like a good band. If you got a good drummer, if you got a good singer, you got a good harmony. And this is what we create. We create harmonies. And the harmony is according to the goal. Is it like for a wedding? Is it from a demonstration? Or is it from whatever? You should always keep in mind why I am doing this. As you can see as well, we have like lots of lavender, lots of purples, pinks, but from time to time we just put like a little yellow in, and that's only because we want to break the whole system. We want to get like complementary colors, we call it, because we're gonna make it with a bigger tension. These flowers here, they're very beautiful, they're very refined, so I can make it, well, like this dahlia is very nice, but it's really big. The rose is really big, but this one is very refined. So we're going to add some very refined flowers in it, and it will give the arrangement a little bit more like elegancy. And as you can see, if I just add this flower, it comes more, we just call it in the terms feminine. So it comes really like, you see the difference? It's a huge difference. Although this is like pastel pinks, this is not pastel pink, it's a little bit more like the masculine pink, but here we can create something different. And like I said, if you know where you have to go to or what is your goal to go, And we just call it, said, for who, for where will it place, what is the message, what do you want to people think about that, or what kind of emotions do you want to evoke if making arrangements like this. You have to keep it all in mind. As you also can see here, these flowers is a little bit two-dimensional, so they grow like this. So I'm going to use the natural shape, the natural form into that arrangement. So I can use it like this, that will be not nice, but I'm searching a way that I put that little flower in focus. I know there's a lot of flowers, but each flower deserves the perfect spot that it has an added value. I don't like doing an arrangement that we just stuff all the flowers like wallpaper. I will not do that because it's not really respectful for the flowers. This is something like here, that little guy is really happy, he's shining, and he's proud to be part of that arrangement. This one is hanging, but that's normal. That's like also this tulip, this baroque tulip is hanging. So we have lines. We call them parallel lines. We got like dynamic lines. So it's a play of lines, shapes, forms, and of course, in this case, colors and yarn. Here, those are roots. It's not only about flowers, but it's more about the plant. The plant is not only about the petals. You got beautiful leaves. You got beautiful roots. You got so many things. So what we're gonna add some roots in it, so it will give a little bit more an eclectic feeling. And we just call it. Well, we also designed a setting, a mood, and we call it Garf. This is actually a little bit playing with colors, shapes, forms, lines, all in different, a little bit in an eclectic way. What I always say is, well, we have trends, but trends are not made to be followed. Trends are made to be inspired. So this is what we do. We saw materials, we saw what is possible, we saw potential in colors, in vases, in containers, and we said, okay, we're going to make our own trends or moods to create some visual impact. Because it's all about visual impact. If we see something, well, or we can be said, okay, well, we like it or we don't like it, but it has to do with visual impact. And of course, emotions. Flowers are pure emotions. Flowers can evoke your inner being. And it's up to you to say, you know what, I want to be like, we just call it like passive and active harmony. If it is really strong and strong colors and masculine colors, it will almost like attack you. Color-wise, form-wise, but if it is like passive harmony, you really want to sit and really want to relax and enjoy. So those are totally different harmonies, but it has to be a harmony. There has to be a harmony. It's actually, there is a connection between all the different materials. Like I said, it can be done in all different ways, but one of them is like color. This is one, the biggest harmony in here is we focus ourselves on the colors of the purples, the hot pinks. And the hot pink is quite interesting because the hot pinks gives it a little bit like a little touch more. You see the difference? It's really coming.